I'm going to be honest, I was a little bit dubious about this look. Blue eyeshadow, is it meant to stay in the 80s? Let's have a look. So first of all, I'm going to prime the eyelid. I'm using a Revolution concealer and buffing it in with a large brush. Then I'm going back onto a palette and I'm using more of this cement colour. And I'm just going to pop that in the outer corner along the socket line and also above the socket line. I'm using left and right buffing motions and just making sure it's blended with no lines. I'm then going back in with a clean brush and just making sure that there's no lines. You can also take this time to drag a little bit more product up towards the eyebrow. I've then got a smaller, rounder brush and I'm going to go into a navy colour. And I'm going to pop this on the outer corner of the eyelid. I'm not going to go up too high, I'm going to keep it below the socket line. And I'm just going to pack that colour on so it looks intense. I look straight ahead and just check that you can just about see it above the socket line with my eyes open as I have hooded eyelids. Making sure it's even on both sides. Then going in with a larger brush, adding a little bit more product and then just making sure that any harsh lines are blended. I'm dragging this all the way along the socket line to the inner corner. And at this stage, it's going to look a little bit messy. It might drop underneath the eyes. It might look like it's dragging the eyes down, but don't worry about that. We are going to clean up under the eye before we do the base, so do not worry at all. I'm blending this out. If you want it to look darker or more intense, just repeat that process again. I'm then going to go on to a really icy blue colour. This adds contrast and makes the look pop. It's a really metallic-y shadow and I prefer to just pop this on with fingers, although it would be much easier if I had shorter nails. I find the warmth of the fingers just help to spread the product a little bit more, so it gets a little bit more kind of creamy consistency. Then I'm going back in with a buffing brush, just making sure that you can't see any fingerprints, you can't see any lines, and it doesn't kind of look like it stops and starts. I've got a little lip brush, and I'm just going to use it in the navy and go underneath the lash line, just to keep that colour continued all the way around the eye. This is going to define the lower lash line, make my lower lashes look a little bit thicker and fuller. Then it's onto the black eyeshadow. And I'm just going to pop that along the lash line to give an eyeline effect. And again, making the lashes appear longer, fuller and thicker. I'm keeping this a little bit heavier on the outside just to accentuate the outside corners of my lashes. Then I'm going to go all the way across to the inner corner, being careful of my eye as the space gets a little bit thinner as you go in towards the nose. I'm then going to take a makeup remover wipe and I'm just going to clean up underneath the eye. I always go in an upward swipe to give that kind of lifting effect. And I'm not stretching the skin here, I'm just holding the skin. If you stretch the skin, it will distort the shape and then you will get a funny line under there. So try not to do that. I'm then going to pop some false lashes on. Actually, a pretty good first attempt there. I fixed it. I'm going to do base, brows and lips, and this is the finished look. I was pretty dubious about this look, but I actually really love the blue eyeshadow on brown eyes. It really gives a contrast and a pop, so I'm pretty happy with that. If you want more in-depth tips and tricks for learning makeup, head up to the link that is in the bio for the website